sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas in Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Dallas Cowboys. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And with the new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
And when you watch Devontae Freeman run the football, you can almost close your eyes and hear him running the football, can't you? Because people just scatter. I mean, you know, when he goes through a pile, it moves in a positive direction for him. I just love how hard he plays the game.
1,000-yard season. He had 11 touchdowns last year. In March, 25 years old. So he's kind of hitting that sweet spot for a running back, isn't he?
He really is. And I still remember the evaluation of him coming out of college. He does everything well, but you weren't sure he had a dominant trait. Well, wrong about that. He's dominant just about everything he does. And I think that he's going to continue to elevate his game and seek a third Pro Bowl in 2017.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Freeman again. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down.
I spy a couple of extra defensive backs on the field for Dallas.
Cowboys in the dime on 3rd. And Jones has it over the middle. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Over 1,400 yards last year for Jones. Just 6 touchdowns, but, you know, of course he had the big 300-yard game. However, when he was blanketed with coverage, he always opens things up for other guys, doesn't it?
He does, and that's what's benefited Atlanta's offense. Other guys were able to step up. In 2016, Mohamed Sanu stepped up and had his best year as a pro. Austin Hooper, as a young tight end, really developed down the stretch. And Taylor Gabriel, who had come over as a free agent from Cleveland, he really flourished. Actually led the team in touchdown catches. But there's only one Julio Jones, and you want to get the ball to him as much as possible.
I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
Well, let's talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. They're going on 4th down. It's Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. And this crowd loves it as their guys hold on the opening drive. Well, trying to be bold on the opening drive of the game, but that effort, it proves futile.
How many times have we talked with coaches where they've talked about taking the emotion out of their decision-making? I think that opening drive, if he didn't have it in his head to go for it before, I think that keyed into it. They were doing so well, and he decided to really establish something there. They didn't get it. Now they've got to make sure that they don't lose their focus. Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'd be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Now Prescott. Bryant with a catch right side. And he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. A glance back at 2016 for Dez Bryant. 50 receptions, under 800 yards, had 8 touchdowns. What do you make of the season that Dez had?
Well, remember, it started with Dez injured, so it took a little while for him to get started. I'm going to make a bold prediction for you. Would not shock me at all if he doubled his catch number next year and darn near doubled his receiving yardage total. Because if he's healthy all year long, they're going to want to take some pressure off of the run game themselves, and Dak Prescott in his second season should be that much more confident throwing it downfield.
Prescott yet again. He finds his target, Terrence Williams. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
Second down, Prescott. Throw right side, complete to Williams. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Throwing, Prescott. And he's got his man. It's Escobar. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That almost felt like the defense said, he is not getting in. What a play.
Not only stopping him at the line, but pushing him back a yard as well. They'll try to run it in with Elliott, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott punching it in from a yard away. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule, as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. Second down following the incompletion.
I think that's a big-time play there, because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he's able to bat it away.
Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Here we go on 4th down with Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room?
Yeah.
Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You want some explanations. Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Gavin Escobar, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Now Ryan on 2nd down. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to be marked down deep in Dallas territory. A big play there. Ryan to Jones. And even 60 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run out.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there. And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
To the right side, complete to Escobar. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
That is caught inside the 5. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Did your high school have that same push 'em back cheer?
I was a kicker.
Well, it certainly worked. Didn't matter whether we were kickers or not. That one worked, didn't it? They pushed them back at his last snap of the ball, and boy, they created a nice play for themselves. Would they lose 3 on that one?
Yeah, from the 1 back to the 4. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
The Cowboys will turn it over now to Dan Bailey for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Room here to run. And a cut. Devontae Freeman. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman, 48 yards. And the Falcons draw a bit closer. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And with the new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Help me out, partner. Was that incomplete?
That was on a deep ball to Dez.
That's a surprise. The way he attacks the football in the air, it's always surprising to me when he doesn't complete a pass like that.
Dez Bryant, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. how are you going to win?
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a cornerback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
They're going to hurry back to the line now. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards on the pickup, and that leads to an Atlanta first down. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Charles, we've seen them target one of their main weapons time and time again. Maybe they went to that well too many times there.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to determine how many times is too many, because how many times have we seen a team go and play and say, until they stop us, we'll keep going. But they got stopped on that one, and it cost them 6 points.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Offside, defense.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. 3rd down now following the run. On 3rd down, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, that's perfect. 2, Davis, deep.
Heck, I got to go. Okay, and sorry about that. Didn't know Larry got cut off early. We are back and ready for the 3rd quarter. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. To throw is Prescott. Bryant with a catch right side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
Here's Prescott. Bryant has it. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. It's caught by Bryant. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. 2nd and 5. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. And now a first down following that long gain. 1 man in the backfield, Elliott. Prescott. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Collins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now Ryan. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Looked like he had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
That was a big conversion there on 3rd down, and I remember playing, and all the time on the sidelines, you hear a coach calling for the punt team to get ready on 3rd down because you can't call for it on 4th down. It's too late getting on the field. So a lot of times you're lining up, and the offense can see you lining up. Occasionally it serves as motivation for them. I'm not letting these guys back out here. I want to keep the ball in offense, and that's exactly what they did.
On 2nd down, Freeman takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. From midfield now, here's Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Oftentimes we think of those tough yards as grinding yards that a running back has to pick up. How about the tight end there picking up the first down in that situation?
That's what he's there for, right?
Big fella, get it to him, let him fight off some people and pick up the necessary yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Now Ryan on 2nd down. He's going to loft one deep. That's caught inside the 20. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Not the tallest receiver on the field, but he just shouted to admit that the little guy can't go downfield and make a big-time catch on a deep pass because sometimes they'll just out-scrap you for the football.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he will find his man on the outside. A gain of 6 there on first.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Coleman now. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Tevin Coleman, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told us, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Give him 7 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. And this time they go underneath for a simple pitch and catch.
And not only do you get the pitch and catch, Brandon, but you're able to keep the receiver moving when you hit him with the drag route.
And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there. 3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Now Prescott escaping the pressure right. Now, and he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Robert Alford. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, it's all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And quickly they get to the line. Now Ryan. And this is Gabriel on the catch. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Here we go on 4th down with Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And it's a big turnover there on the back now in Arlington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And now here come the Cowboys. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4's kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Prescott to throw it, eluding the pressure right. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete. And there we saw rolling right out of the pocket. Maybe his momentum taking him toward that sideline led him a little too far.
Yeah, that is difficult, isn't it? Plus, you're closing down your space, right? You're shortening the field for your receivers. And their inclination is to go towards the sidelines as fast as the quarterback is as well. Hard for them to throttle down to leave themselves with enough room to stay in bounds and catch the ball. And I think the end result, knocking the ball away, was a product of understanding where they were on the field, understanding how many yards they needed to pick up the 1st down, and tightening their coverage accordingly. Gave them no gaps, no spaces, no real air in which to catch the football, and end up making a really nice play.
So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's brought down after a good game. That one goes for 24 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
It's caught over the middle. Hooper. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And the offense moving quickly to the line. They go play action here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Levine Toilolo, the tight end, his intended target. And it's second down.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the fourth quarter, and they got a big one.
Yeah, it's such a close game, a very big one.
But it was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
On third down, Ryan. He completes it to Jones. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Here we go. It's Ryan on fourth down. It's caught. Jones. Give him 8 on the play, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Here's Coleman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Holding offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
And finding the tight end, Hooper. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. And they're going to speed things up here. Now it's Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. Now Ryan. His pass caught at the 4. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
And now they're in the hurry up. Second and goal. Defense digging in again here. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd and goal now in a one-score game. They'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Man, a tough spot to drop that down here, 3rd and goal.
And so many times when you analyze a play like this, you talk about the people around him and maybe his focus was gone. Sometimes just simply him understanding how close he is to the end zone and a chance to score, and he tightens up and doesn't complete the play.
That's caught at the 1, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this Cowboy defense comes up with a goal line stand. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off, and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. He's at the 40, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dez Bryant, 97 yards. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And here now come the Falcons. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Yeah, simple, a tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence, not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Here's Ryan. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
He's got Sanu. Touchdown, Falcons. Mohamed Sanu, 79 yards. And the Falcons draw a bit closer.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job one. Now they have to convert, and then it's decision time, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is what all teams go through. You look at the clock, you're inside 2 minutes, look at your timeouts, make that onside kick decision.
Yeah, how do you feel about your defense, where you are in terms of the scoreboard, and the time left on the clock, as you noted, so many things to go through.
And the Cowboys are able to recover. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A very solid gain of 27. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
Yeah, that, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. One man in the backfield, Elliott. Throwing, Prescott. And he slings one that's incomplete. Jason Witten, the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, Just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Let's go!
Here's Prescott. And that's incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. And that brings up 4th down.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance that they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You were able to keep them within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games.
Here's Eric Weems now on the return. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. The defense for the Cowboys getting set to go. And they'll see if they can get one final stop with this crowd behind them.
And let's face it, as much as we want to say it's all about the guys on the field, they can get some help right here from the home crowd. And they're going to try their best to get them motivated, get them involved. But they're going to need to make a play or two in order to keep them in that spot.
The crowd's making some noise now. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. He's back to throw. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. One last shot for Ryan. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off